Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fridays with Sue and Steph. And first of all, I just want to say I went walking yesterday outside and I thought to myself, just everybody's mood lifts exponentially when it is sunny and beautiful outside. Like,
Can I answer that now?
it's universal. It is.
Yeah.
So then someone said to me, well, then why do you live in Cleveland, where many days are gray? Many are cold and
It's an
icy.
excellent question.
But then I have this other thing, which is the not having to the having.
Oh,
Like that day yesterday was glorious.
yes.
If you live in that weather all the time, do you wake up every day going, today is glorious? I don't know.
I would like it. I would like to try that and make a commitment to
what?
it.
It's true. We could test that out one day.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Stephanie had a great idea for a conversation today, and it forced me to think a little deeper than I expected with the question. But our question is, are there the certain yeses to anything you put out there for your family? And I have 5 kids, so it's hard to think of the thing that really gets 5 kids giving me a yes, but there are some.
Are there some 5 for 5? Because I had that same thought even for my 3. I was thinking,
yeah.
okay.
Well, I guess even for me and Dan, it's not always like a definite. But so I was trying to think what the order is, and I'm not 100% sure. I have 4 things I came up with. So number 1, vacation.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like whatever is going on in my kids' lives, if there is a family vacation, they are in. And it sounds kind of obvious and maybe even a little bratty, but it is
I don't
a
think it sounds
joy.
bratty.
It's a joy in my life to know that, like, if we can pull off a family vacation, they will all come if they can. Sometimes not everybody can come.
It's funny. I was thinking if my parents were on this call, Hera and Jules would say the same thing about me and my sister. You say vacation, we're like, I'm in. Like, well, don't you want to know where it is? I'm like, no.
Right.
Totally irrelevant. I mean, I need to know where it is when I'm booking my flight because it probably helps to know practically. But otherwise, doesn't matter.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay, what's your family's number?
Okay, so mine was, and I just added it after, was anything the dog is involved in. That's right. So like, I could say something they wouldn't be so interested, but if we take the dog and oh yeah, let me get my shoes.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is
I just thought of it once we started. It wasn't on my original list.
Yeah. I have a friend whose kid just got a dog, and she was saying how much they talk about that dog like it's a child. And it's true in my family. Like one of my kids says, I have to go to the bathroom and hands me a dog. And I'm like, the dog walks. The dog is a dog. Put the dog down. No.
Somebody posted on something the other day, total sidebar, about it was a parenting site. I don't think it was ours. And they said something about how they have figured out that if they bring the dog to pick up to get their kid, they get none of the moodiness, none of that. And I was like, oh, that is a brilliant hack.
Yes. You heard it here, guys. Share it with your friends. Like, man, maybe there's an article there. You need to tell your friend because it's so simple. Like,
so simple.
It's dog therapy. It's pet therapy. Just bring your dog. Oh my God. Will you ask her if she'll write an article?
I don't know who it was. It wasn't somebody I knew. I posted and I commented and I said, you are brilliant.
Okay. See if you can recreate that.
I'll see if I can find it. Okay.
Okay. Here's my second thing.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I have a few more that I wouldn't say are universally everyone, but this one is everyone.
Okay.
Want to go out to dinner tonight?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Yeah. And that doesn't matter where either. And that they don't even ever need to know because they don't have to drive. They don't have to book a flight, nothing.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. So I had that one too. I had a couple places. Do you want to go for? And then I finally crossed them out and wrote food. So it was kind of a catch all. Here's another one. And this is probably,
wait, let's go into is there any category, in my family, if we were taking it outside of going out to dinner, ice cream would be a very and Mitchell's in particular.
Mitchell's is 3 for 3 in our house.
Shout out to Mitchell's.
Yeah, that we have that. And the other, I put like Yeah. Does somebody want Chipotle? Do you want to go to Wasabi? That's like 3 for 3 every time.
Okay. Do you remember? Oh, I
Mm,
don't believe you were with us, but Trevor Noah was in Cleveland and they were tweeting or interviewing or something. And they said, our one disappointment is we keep hearing about Mitchell's, but we didn't get to have it. And so I literally went and bought Mitchell's.
I remember that story.
And when we got to the front of the line, because you had to get in line to go to the show, and it even if you had tickets, you still didn't all get in.
Okay.
And we were not going to get in. We were second to last where they cut it off. And someone saw me and said, "Wait, you got us the ice cream, right?" And I was like, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "Hold on one second." Isn't that a great story?
That's a great story. And I reference this all the time and I can't think of his name. We saw him at HB, economist, Thomas Friedman.
Oh, yeah. He's a journalist, actually. He and Paul Tuff are both journalists.
Oh, okay. So he's a journalist.
I don't even know if he's a journalist. I know he's written a bunch of books.
Is that an economist?
I don't know. Maybe he is.
I think he is.
We need a fact checker. Does anybody
fact
know?
check Thomas Friedman? I'm pretty sure he's an economist, but I'm sure. Yeah. What does my friend Julie say? Always sure, never rarely right. Something like that. Do the extra. That's one of his lines. When he talked about like think like an immigrant, always be in beta. The other one is do the extra, which is what that makes me think of.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Anyway, it was that was a good moment. Okay, so what's your next one?
Okay, my next one is coffee, which used to be 3 for 3. Now they're 2 for 3. If I was like, oh, anybody want to go grab a coffee? Oh yeah, in.
I don't have everybody, but I have a lot.
Yeah, same.
That one. Yeah,
same. But it's good.
So in my family, and this is a little bit sad for me because I never wanted to learn this game, and so I don't know why it became the thing I don't do.
Okay.
But settlers, they're all in. Yeah.
Same. So I played it maybe twice. It makes me crazy, but the 3 of them, they're in. Like they'll play that. You know what I mean? And it's funny. I love games. I don't know. Maybe I haven't played it enough. I don't know. I might need to revisit.
The problem for me is that I love being in a book. I don't love starting a book.
Oh.
And I love games. Like every time they're home, I want to play Azul. And they're like, oh my God, all you ever want to do is play Azul. But I know how to play Azul. So I love it.
Right.
But I don't always want to go from like the closed book to the open book or the game I don't yet know. So I don't know what that resistance is, but yeah. That's funny. I love it once I'm in it.
I know.
Okay. Steph, are you into Wordle? Did you get into it?
I did. About 4 weeks.
I caved on Sunday.
Oh, I caved a few weeks ago.
Okay, I'm obsessed.
Thank God it's only once a day.
I know. And this morning I'm so mad because I had 4 not in this right place. I had 3 in the right place, 1 in the wrong place. And my next one, that was for the first one. So I could have almost gotten it in 2. And instead I didn't, the one that was in one of them that was in the wrong place, I didn't move.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've done that.
I told someone and they said, that is a rookie mistake. You will not do that again.
Yeah. Totally.
Anyway, so I think everyone's doing that in my family now, but you do it alone. So that's not really a get together. Yeah. Okay. Do you have one more?
I do. So this is a funny one. So this is one that is often maybe, but they all do it. So I love fires, as you know. I'm a little bit of a pyro. I like them inside, outside. I like them contained, but so I particularly love starting a fire outside. I just love it. And I'll say, hey, I don't know what everyone's doing. I'm going to, make a fire. If you guys want to come out, I don't know what I'm doing. But they're like literally moths to a flame, one by one. I don't know if it's the promise of a s'more or the thought of a s'more, but I actually don't think it's that. I think, again, it's like, do I want to come out there? I'm going to smell like smoke. Yeah, I'm going. Like, can't help themselves. That's 3 for 3. That's 3 for 3.
That's great. That's kind of like an activity on vacation. Like it's hard. I can't take a poll of everybody and what they want to do. So I learned years ago to make plans for Dan and me and then just let them know. And so they kind of say, no, yes, maybe, whatever. But by the time we leave the house, they're all in.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Okay. My last one is RuPaul's Drag Race.
Wait, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's this TV show that my kids love. Like,
I have to watch that. I don't even know about it.
if they're not in the same place, they put on their computers while they're watching so they can talk while they're watching about what they're seeing. It's
Oh, I
adorable.
love that.
Yeah, I love it too. I love it so much. I didn't think of any more after that. How about you?
No, that was my whole list.
Okay, well, we're going to banter just in case anybody watching wants to put in. Is there anything that you can share with your kids that's a definite yes? And it was a kind of a fun exercise because it gets you down a different path than, is there anything that your kids always say no to? That list is so long. Does anybody want to?
I would not be using this little sheet of paper for that discussion.
Yeah, but it's a happier thing. Like, it's the thing that experts always tell us. If you focus on the positive, it really does shift the mood of your day. And if you get a sunny day on top of it, it's a winner. It's a gold mine.
It's so true. I have used that same theory with the dog recently. So I was realizing I was with a friend and something happened and I was like, she was talking about behaviors of the dog and acknowledging like when the dog's doing something good. And I'm like, oh my God, that totally reminds me when the kids were in elementary school, their principal used to do this thing called caught being good. And he would just like recognize it and give them like a treat or something. And I'm like, it's so cute. And I realized with the dog, I had been like reprimanding her, but never just catching her in the act of just doing the things I love she does, which is just lay next to me. And so I've started keeping, she loves little cut up carrots. So I'll keep them like on the table. When she's just laying here, I'll like call her name and hand her one. And it's like that same thinking where like
positive reinforcement with the dog.
Am.
And also I couldn't remember who fed their dog a carrot because I'd never heard of that. And now I know. And I remember now because you said it. I kept asking people, are you the one who gives your dog to carrots? It seems so weird to me.
That's so funny. Yeah. I literally keep them cut up in the fridge now.
But so is that for all the dogs you've ever had, or is it just this dog that likes carrots?
Just this dog. And the only reason I do it is because another friend of mine who has a chocolate lab, she's like, oh yeah, she loves carrots. And I was like, oh, that's such a good thing instead of a treat. Like there's no calories in it. And it's the only thing she chews. She said she eats things so quickly, but that carrot she'll actually chew.
Yeah, Riley would choke on it.
Then I don't recommend.
I don't think the teeth could even break down though. She's so little.
Well, you can make very little pieces of it.
Oh, I guess I could take out a carrot and grate it for my dog. Or I could take out a piece of cheese and give her a piece of cheese. I think I'll go with the cheese. Yeah, she does not, I don't know. My dog does not like hear the screen or see the screen. So like if we're watching TV or if a kid wants to see her, I don't know what it is because I have a friend who asked me what her favorite TV show was, and because her dog has one and Riley doesn't see any of that. But there is one little auditory glitch in my theory. If a dog on TV is barking or there's a doorbell, she goes nuts. She goes running to the front door, barking and
Luna, the same two things.
Yeah. Oh, so then it's, I'm glad to know the same way we do your teen so that parents don't feel alone.
You're not alone with your dog.
I'm a little worried about my dog. Like maybe we hadn't done something with her that we should have.
Next company, your dog. Your dog media. You heard it here.
Yeah. Okay.
So much to write about. I mean, I'm going to get started on that today. Actually, let me make a note.
So nobody put anything in the comments. If you're brave, it makes our day. We'd love to hear what your yes is in your family. And you have like 1 minute because we'll come up with something else to talk about for 1 minute.
Maybe next week should be what makes them run screaming in the opposite or in the other direction.
But in a funny way.
In a funny way. Yeah. Like hey, anybody want to go on a hike? Crickets.
Oh, not my family. Okay, now I have a nephew who had a terrible fall on a hike, like had to be rescued in a helicopter, and he's great. He's doing great. And then I had a kid go to Hawaii who did a 3-day backpack, and at the end called up and said, "I'm okay, Mom." And I was like, oh God. And I think actually we just have an article where a mom said, "I'm okay, but" is like the worst, words. Well, I mean, not the worst, but terrible.
Yeah, but
she was on
stop.
Yeah, she was on a 3-day hike, which I was already nervous about. Everything on the backpack, and it rained on the way back, and it washed out the path. And so there was a real sense of dying, of like having to watch every step. It took them hours and hours. It took them many hours to get there. It was 11 miles up and then it took them forever to get back. So then one of my kids is away on spring break, and he calls me afterwards and he goes, "We're all okay." And I'm like, "Oh my God, stop hiking.
Yeah, stop.
Please, just stop."
Yeah.
They did some hike that was all boulders, and they're, like, anyway. So the hiking thing, I think I'm not going to ask that anymore. That might be off for me. Anyhow, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. We will see you next week, and have a great week. I hope you have some good weather where you are.